Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Most folks here, names are familiar, but if we have not interacted yet with each other yet, I'm Chelsea. I do product and development research at Materio. So I work with you all to help you learn the platform and do these Ask Materio Anything deep dives and demoing some of the features that maybe you are already familiar with or need a refresh on, or it's a new feature. And today, very excited to do a rundown of our new release of our refreshed and updated Clipper. We have been listening to feedback from you all and worked to incorporate everything as much as we can, and we're really excited to be getting feedback from folks on how this works for them. So I'm going to walk you all through that first and foremost. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we can get started. We're going to walk through our new Clipper release, and I'm going to do so by showing you two scope items. So the first will be a sectional piece of furniture in a living room, and then the other will be the microwave. So I will step us through this and then point out the new features that are included as I go through. So we're going to start with the microwave, and I know that I'm going to source this from Home Depot. So what I'm first going to do is I'm actually going to go into my contacts and my external collaborators because I want to make sure that I have my known markup entered into my vendor contact card for Home Depot. You'll see why this is really important later. So my markup with Home Depot, no matter who my client is, it's always going to be 20%. I'm going to save this. I know that that's there. And so now let's go ahead and go to Home Depot and find the microwave that we want to clip into our project. A few things that you will notice when you go ahead and you open up the Clipper is that it is no longer on top of the site page. So you can change the size, find what works best for you, and not lose any visibility into what you are actually clipping. The other thing that's really exciting that we're pretty stoked about is that you can either clip into your library, which you're all familiar with, or you can now clip into your project and your scope item. So directly into that microwave scope item, you can clip this product in as an option. So we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to follow that path for this here. So when I click on project, I can see I'm working on peak home and my project item is microwave. So let's scroll down. A lot of this will look familiar. Some of the things that we created a lot of options for clicking to add. This will be really helpful as we go down this list. It's going to remove a lot of the copy and pasting that used to exist for the old Clipper. So if I click here, I can now hover over images, and I can just say, yep, let's add that one. I would like to add this one. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to add that one as well. This will show you the image size as well, so you can know if the images that you're pulling in have that consistent size or not, and so you can swap it out. You'll say, you know what, oops, accidentally clicked this one. I want the large one instead, so I'm just going to X out of that. What happens when you click here with this icon is you then, and let me just get back to, so what you then are able to do is you can click here, and then you can scroll over any text within the page, and that will copy it over into your Clipper. So let's say for some reason the SKU wasn't pulled in. You click here, and then I'm just going to click right there and it copies on over. Same thing with, this will be really helpful with dimensions, URL. Now here is where we get to one of the big updates that we have created. When the vendor is matched to a contact card, it's going to pull in what you saved as your markup or as your trade discount. The second scenario I'm going to show you is your trade discount. So for Home Depot, we saw that in that contact card, I saved that 20%. And so that's automatically right there and is going to be included when you save. If you want to add shipping, you just toggle that on. If you have tax to your shipping, you toggle that on. So you can see there are a lot of options now to be able to add the level of detail that you need for your product. So we're just going to keep this no shipping cost at the 20%. I do want to put that there is let's say there's a 2-week lead time here. And then with attachments, we also made attachments more reliable. So being able to click and just add those really easily. So if I want the spec sheet and the warranty and the installation guide, I'm going to click to add, and I will choose specs, warranty, and the installation guide. So this will now be added to that scope item. I'll go ahead and save the clip. And now if I go back into my Peak Home, you can now see that that product was pulled in directly from the clipper with all of the information, the lead time, all of the attachments that you have here. And you can see your markup is there. And so way, way quicker and more efficient with this new clipper. I'm going to now move into what it looks like if you're clipping something with a trade discount. And when I do that, I'll also just point out a few more things that have been added to the clipper as well. So let's go to Pottery Barn. I'm going to be adding an item from Pottery Barn. So I went into my dashboard, contacts, external collaborators. I searched for Pottery Barn, looked it up, and made sure that my I have a trade account is toggled on. And I can add my account number, and I have a 15% trade discount. You want to make sure that that's saved. That will now show up in gray here as well. And so when I go, and I'm just going to refresh this since I just did some saving. All right, now when I open up my clipper, first thing I'm just going to scroll to and show you is that the trade discount, again, just like markup was automatically toggled on, the trade discount is now automatically toggled on. So that integration back into that contact card is there already. So we heard you loud and clear of working in MSRP and trade discount and having that all be workable within the clipper. And so we're excited to be releasing it with this. I'm going to copy those dimensions over. I'm also going to copy over the finish. So fabric and color finish now is in there. Where that SKU number is, I would copy that in. And I can see that it's a 1 to 4 week lead time. So we're just going to be on the cautious side, and we'll do 4 weeks. And then I am going to say that there is a shipping cost here. And I know that shipping is going to be $200. And in this scenario, I am going to do a shipping markup. Now, something that I want to show you is that if you are clipping from a site that you have not added as a vendor contact yet, you now can create a vendor right within the clipper. So if Pottery Barn wasn't here already, I can type in Pottery Barn, click new vendor. It'll have me just confirm the site, and then that will be automatically added to your contact card. And so you don't have to do that back and forth anymore of opening back up your dashboard, going to your main menu, and creating that on your own. In a similar vein, what you can also do is if you are in your library, you can now add subgroups to your categories within your library. So just a reminder that subgroups fall within the predetermined categories that exist in the library right now. And so you can do that, create that on the spot, and then save that product right in there. So in this case, I'm still going to do the project. I'm going to do peak home. I'll remove some of these. They're a bit redundant. And actually, I'm going to remove all of them because they're not the right color. I'll click to add, and I'll add that one. All right, save the clip. I'm missing something. Yep. I got everything. There we go. When I refresh, you'll now see that this is an option within the project and within that scope item. So that's a run through of the major updates to the Clipper and how we incorporated a lot of the feedback that we've received on this. And we're really excited to have you all test it out.